Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Virche Evermore. The bird is with me. He doesn't want to be alone because he doesn't have his little bird to sit with him anymore. Um, you doing okay, buddy? I'm sure everyone is worried about you because you lost your tiny bird friend. He seems okay. He was comforting Tiny Bird as he died, so he was there. But it's still weird because it's like I have to I haven't taken apart the cage and everything yet because I'm like, I'm just going to leave it for a day or two for him to get you because everything's going to change. Everything's going to get rearranged and he's going to be like, the fuck just happened? So I'm like, gotta get the bird adjusted to, you know, the changes. But, you know, you lost your baby bird and now you lost your tiny bird. We're real good with names. But anyway. A new day began, and Adolphe and the others began the task of working as bodyguards. There was always at least one person with Cyan, so that he was never left alone. Also, my bird's usually with me because he's a clingy little bastard, so it doesn't make a difference. We began our rounds through the area away from where the guards were stationed to make sure there was no suspicious activity. Of course, any obvious behavior would only attract the attention of the researchers and the royal family. Please tell me everybody else is wearing research equipment, like lab gear and shit. Just fit in, it'd be great. If there was something unfortunate, it was that I couldn't go back to the orphanage with everyone here focused on guarding us. I felt bad saying it, but I decided to lie to Mother so that she wouldn't worry. I was terminated from Cyan's employment, but I need to still make money to make amends, so I'm working at Mathis's manor as his maid now. I'm confused about that, though. Like, okay, there was something, I couldn't go back to the orphanage with everyone here focused on guarding us. I decided to lie to Mother so she wouldn't worry. Okay, I guess it's okay. I get it. Never mind. My brain's not fully functioning today. I guess it's because I can't go back to the orphanage since everyone's guarding us. You know, because I don't want to bring misfortune to the orphanage. So I don't want Mother to worry that I'm staying with Cyan. So I told her I'm working at Mathis's manor and I'm basically a live-in maid. So that's where I'm staying, so she doesn't think I'm staying with Cyan, because that'll freak her out. And well, one, because of she hates Cyan, and two, because everything going on here would cause her more worry than I'm with Mathis and Jean. You know, I get it. Okay, I feel like they could have worded that a little better, but maybe that's just me having brain dysfunction today. I don't know. A few days passed as we continued our monitoring. As expected, Cyan's situation didn't improve and was in fact getting worse. Aww. Now look. Cyan brought me to the secret laboratory that he showed me that night. He tried to gain access like before, but for some reason the door didn't unlock. Ooh. Well, why isn't it opening? Someone locked him out. Simple. Someone revoked my rights to prevent me from conducting my experiments. Cyan muttered disinterestedly that it was probably the doing of the royal family. It's funny that as the god of this world, basically, the royal family can revoke his access rights to shit. I mean, technically, the thing that's nice about that is there are checks and balances in place to make sure he does not have absolute fucking authority and power. But at the same time, I don't know if the royal family should be able to, I mean, I guess, but it's you should be able to stop a researcher from researching, but I guess, I'm on Cyan's side, so it's really hard for me to not be like, fuck you, bitches! He should have free reign to do whatever he wants! But, in reality, it's no, actually, that's good. Someone needs to check his ass before he wrecks himself. You know what I mean? Because he's... Seriously, you know? But, Cyan, you're the one who established this facility in order to fight the curse. I can't believe they're resorting to such measures just to isolate you. Which is why I told you before that this place is filled with intrigue and malice. See? Here comes the intrigue. Don't bite my face, bird. I turned around to find... Dahoud was walking toward us with a crowd of researchers behind him. But for some reason, Dahoud, who was standing at the center, wasn't his usual jolly self.
We heard the alarm, so we came as soon as possible to see who was intruding. Cyan, will you stop already? We can't afford to let you continue your experiments, especially now that we have proof of your wrongdoing. If you want to conduct your research, please do it with the resources you have in your own room.
Cyan was blamed and looked down upon without a chance of rebuttal. The only person in the group of researchers who was actually cringing was Dahut. Dahut. I stepped forward and spoke his name. I know we're not able to fully clear his name of the accusation, but isn't it possible to at least give Cyan some leeway here? I mean, Cyan's still the director.
Oh, I feel like that's about to go south.
In response to my request, Dahut responded,
I'm sorry.
Quiet apology. Huh?
Well, here you have it. So please be careful. Now, if you'll excuse me.
He lowered his head a bit nervously, then left with his subordinates. All I could do was watch him from behind in utter disbelief. Also, I mean, it's kind of weird because he's the second in command, and his subordinates are basically dragging him around and pushing him around, and it's really bizarre.
I'm not surprised you said that, especially considering his situation. Hardly any of the researchers here believe that I'm innocent. So if Dahut tried to defend me, this whole place would probably burn to the ground.
So Dahut is in a tight situation himself. Okay, that makes sense.
But they still bully him. Like, his subordinates still bully him instead of him being like, not being able to say anything and be like, listen, guys, not your fucking place, let me deal with this. And then being like, listen, I'm in a tight spot. I'm like, whatever. I can't defend you because of this, and like, whatever. But like, he doesn't stand up. I can understand him not standing up for Cyan because of that, but he doesn't even stand up for himself against these fuckers. Like, you know?
As we headed back to Cyan's room, he mentioned that it would give him time to focus without worrying about politics. And look at him with that blissful little smile on his face, and you know it's eating away at him inside. I could tell he was trying to put up a front, I could tell he wasn't trying to put up a front. I feel like he kind of is, though, but I was just being honest about the situation. I mean, it's sad because it's like, I guess you want to believe that it does bother him, but if it really doesn't bother him, then it's like, well, fuck. Like, does he really have no emotions? Because this should bother you a little. But it still feels weird to me. Cyan's way of doing things was conducting all sorts of experiments at his own pace. So something didn't feel right when I saw him unable to work on what he wanted. Upon returning to his room, he quickly sat in his usual chair and began to fidget with the bright screen. He freely moved about the light, the workings behind which still were a mystery to me. His multicolored eyes gleamed a bit upon receiving the brilliance of the panel. I had seen this many times, but including Cyan, the sight was so beautiful and phantasmal. Including Cyan, I love that. It's so beautiful. Yeah, because he's gorgeous. So.
What are you looking at?
Huh? Was I staring?
You're making it too obvious. I bet you don't understand half of what's on here, so what reason do you have to look?
I was relieved he didn't notice I was actually staring at him. What reason? Well, I was just thinking of how sophisticated Reliver technology is. I mean, even that screen of light, the system you touch looks like something from a fairy tale, Cyan.
A fairy tale. I suppose that's a reasonable description, coming from an illogical point of view.
Is Arpachel the only country that employs this kind of technology?
For now, probably. But I've heard of another country with fascinating research about going back in time.
Fascinating research going back in time. Onco. Time travel. Time Lord. I told you. Okay, that's right there. That is right there. Just now factual.
I feel like it was obvious he was a time traveler and he was able to, like, you know, regenerate bodies and he's not just, like, some magical being from hell, time travel. But, like, this is just now, like, see? Yes, time traveler. Okay. Like, I feel like that's a safe assumption at this point. I think it was a safe assumption to begin with, but now I feel like they've just basically handed you the facts, like, yeah. If you were thinking, yeah, it exists. Time travel exists in this world. I mean, you know,
Puzzles are newfangled weird technology, but time travel. Got it. Fucking bizarre.
Back in time? You mean back to the past? Indeed. And there are explanations in the book left by the Drifter.
I'm coming in. Right, and we talk about time travel, and then Adolphe magically shows. I'm just like, listen! Adolphe and Anko's routes are the same route. Like, come on! This is weird, is all I'm saying. Oh, Adolphe, how is everything? Are you finished with your rounds? I would like to also be like, both of their names start with A, but like, that means nothing. I'm just trying to find any kind of fucking link. It was the hand pose. It was that versus upside down combing through the hair, which just looks exactly the same to me, just on the opposite. And like, it's like the actual literal reverse. He's standing in here with his right hand in that pose, right side up, like palm up. And then Anko's got his left hand palm down doing that same. I feel like it's the same, but we've never seen them standing next to each other. That's another weird thing. And combing through his long ass hair, and it's just, there's something about the reverse upside down, like, something about it. Also, in Lucas's route, that angry freaking Anko face was like, wait, that felt weird. It felt weird. Guys, the weird, it was like, what the fuck? But like, it's really honestly the only reason I'm seeing any kind of parallels is because of Lucas and Bordo's like identical poses where you're like, oh, okay, same identical poses. Okay, duh. So like now I'm like seeing shit like this. So I don't know, but I'm just saying it's suspicious. Also, Anko really, really, really hates Cyan, and I feel like who's gonna hate Cyan more than Adolphe because mom hates it, right? I don't listen. Then we talk about time travelers, then he shows. I don't know how. Anyway, not the point. Take that, put it in the back corner. But I'm just saying. Anyway, how is everything? Are you finished with your rounds? I don't know if I finished reading that, but anyway. Yeah, everything's fine. I'm going back to the orphanage for a bit, so I just stopped by to check on you. So are you staying the night? Hell yeah, I'm sleeping with my boyfriend. I mean, maybe. Well, that was the plan. If I could tell you no, I would, but I bet you wouldn't listen anyway. So here. With that, Adolphe brought out a large basket filled with a variety of ingredients. I like how he's just like, fine, here. And it's like his little face. I love this sprite of his. Just like, it's like, so fed up with your bullshit, but I love you anyway. I love all our boyfriends in this game so much. Inside were a bunch of freshly picked vegetables that he had grown in his garden. Oh my, I can make something really good with these. Thank you, Adolphe.
Are you going to leave that here?
That was the idea. Is there a problem? If they're not within view, someone might poison them.
And then at least put it somewhere it won't get in my way.
Yes, of course. Anyway, I'm heading back to Cohen now. If anything happens, contact Eve or Hugo. Got it? Yes, thank you. I can make a lot of different sandwiches with these.
Yeah.
Spacey, you in here? Just as I was about to lift the basket up, next came Hugo through the door. Hugo, has anything happened? Actually, the sister asked me to hand you this. A pillow? Yeah, she said you wouldn't be able to get a good night's sleep without it. I told her you had all the pillows you needed, but she wouldn't take no for an answer, so... I see. I'm very sorry for the trouble. I must be really stressing Mother out right now. As I took the familiar pillow, I thought about how I should apologize to her when I returned. And that's pretty much all I came here for, so I'm gonna get going. Oh, okay. Thank you very much, Hugo. And now comes Eve.
The first food, now a pillow. You're slowly encroaching upon my room.
Yeah, I'm slowly moving in here. You weren't supposed to notice. But other boyfriends are making it too obvious. I'm sorry. I'll make sure none of it gets in the way of your research. Told you next was Eve.
Spacey, are you there?
Saying, he's like, what the fuck now? Ryan gave an obvious look of disgust upon seeing a third visitor come in a row. Yes, I am.
What's the matter? I hope I'm not intruding. And did you see the other two on your way here? No one in particular. The guys are all moving on their own since there's a lot of ground to cover.
I see. Zion looked up to the ceiling in disbelief at the almost perfect series of coincidences. Eve's gonna be like, here's a bag of clothes. So what brings you here, Eve?
I wanted to just say hi since I'm going to be standing guard in front of the room. Oh, and I also brought something.
I know this game is a trauma dump and it's trauma train, but like, why? You know, I think part of why I love this so much is because one, the art is gorgeous. The characters are beautiful, so it's very easy to fall in love with them for me, okay? Top tier art, okay? The story and the concept is good, so we're entertained, but like, it's our little, like, I want you to take all of these little chuckle fucks out and put them into a game that's, you know, maybe got some drama, but is wholesome at the end of it, right? It's perfect. They're a perfect found family trope. Everyone like has their little disagreements and their little nitpicky thing, but they mesh so well together, and it's so entertaining and wholesome and wonderful, and it fills your heart with joy. And then it's like the trauma dump train, which is just kind of like, but I feel like that's what's brilliant about it, because they made this like, okay, let's make the characters, one, the art's gorgeous, so high, feast for my eyes. But like, let's make the characters so likable, and the little funny moments and the way they interact with each other is like kind of good and fun and wholesome, and like there's a lot of good stuff going on, right? So you're having a great time, and then we're gonna bitch slap you in the face with trauma, but you're not even gonna mind because the ride to get to the trauma was enjoyable. You know, it's not like, oh my god, this hurts, and like, what the hell? No, stop it! You know what I mean? Like, the ride to getting there is so enjoyable, and you're having so much fun, you kind of forget for like a split second that you're like, right, this game's gonna shit on all my hopes and dreams. And even when it does, you're like, oh, but it's okay, because I still feel warm and fuzzy inside because the characters make me love them so much. Like, it's genius. Like, we've played trauma games before, but I feel like they were kind of dramatic, and like, even though there's like maybe good moments and fun things, like, I just don't feel like I don't know what it is. Again, we've played trauma games. You know, games that have okay, like, I don't think anything is gonna bitch slap me in the face like Seven Scarlet. Like, fuck that game. I'm still mad about it, okay? It's been 84 years, I'm still mad. Overall, I like the game, just that true ending. I was like, that's not, fuck you, how dare you, okay? Listen. But, like, first time I sobbed uncontrollably playing a game. Anyway. But, like, I feel like there's other games that are heavier and everything, and you're like, oh, they got a heavy atmosphere, and you're like, oh, that's a great moment, but overall, you're like, we have good moments, and but the general tone and the way you feel during the game is, like, low mood. And I don't mean like it's bad, I just mean you're like, yeah, I'm here, we're fine, and we have a great moment, and then there's sad stuff, but we're just generally in the fine space. We're like, you know, you're like, you know, it's enjoyable, but not in the like, man, everything is awesome. And this game makes me smile and laugh, and I'm having so much fun, and I just feel like that's what it is. That's the magic. Because we're having so much fun, and you're like, but when you pause for a second, you're like, but this is like trauma the game, so it's gonna hurt. But like, what the fuck? But like other games that hurt, it's like, you know, you have heavier moments, and again, the vibe is just kind of like, yeah, you're on the roller coaster is not there. You know what I mean? It's just you're on a nice little, you're cruising along the riverbank before you fall over the waterfall. This one is like, wee, we're going up really high, look at woohoo! And then all of a sudden, the cart just flew off the track and you smashed and brutally died viciously. Like, that's what this game does to you. But the way to get there is just so much goddamn fun. So, like, you know, it's the excitement fun versus the, like, yeah, no, this is good. We're having a nice leisurely time. Like, I don't know. I don't know if that makes any damn sense, but, like, Jesus. I just love how this game makes me feel, like, giggly and I'm having so much fun. And then I'm like, should we be having this much fun in a game that's this much trauma? Like, why am I enjoying this so much? And it's not even like, yeah, I like the dark. I'm like, no, I want Happy Fluffy, but it's giving me Happy Fluffy before it lights it on fire. And I don't know. Anyway, I really love this game. I knew the art was going to appeal to me. Like, don't get me wrong. I knew that I was going to enjoy looking at it, but I figured it was going to be trauma the whole time. But I am having a great motherfucking ride before we get bitch slapped with the trauma. I don't know how it's going to come at the end when, like, these salvation endings are still kind of sad. What the fuck? Because I don't know, I guess in my heart I'm like, that will be the good stuff. But I don't think anything's ever really going to be great in this universe. But like, god damn, I love our boys though. Anyway. Anyway, so he brought something and poor frickin' Cyan is gonna cry now. With that, Eve brought out a basket covered by a white cloth. More food! Eve smiled and proceeded to take off the cloth to reveal the basket was stuffed with egg tarts. Cyan, it's more food though. The crispy tart dough and beautifully baked cream looked absolutely delicious, but the thought of Eve baking these himself made me and Cyan go completely pale. Oh, right! Because he's the Van Helsing of the chefs here. Right, I forgot. I looked at Cyan and saw he was keeping his distance from the egg tarts, probably more afraid of them than assassins. They look so delicious. Are you sure we can have all this? I'd be like, oh my god, did you make these yourself? Ask that question. No, I bought them. I asked in a trembling voice.
Of course. I figured something sweet would help since you two must be tired, which is why I got them at a famous bakery in Coen.
Famous bakery? Which means Eve wasn't the one who made them. On second thought, there was no way that Eve had time to bake them since he was so busy patrolling, but I love the terror. I forgot. Oh. I let out a sigh of relief as I regained my composure and accepted the basket. Thank you very much. Cyan and I will enjoy them later.
I'm glad to hear that. I hope you like them, Cyan. Is there anything you need? If you want, I can go and buy it for you tomorrow.
I'm fine for now. Adolphe and Hugo gave me a lot of things, too.
I see. Okay, well, I'm going to be hanging around outside, so let me know if you need anything.
Yes, and you be careful, Eve. With that, Eve waved his hand as he stepped out of the room. And I love the fact that everyone's coming in. Hey, what's up? We're all friends. And Cyan's over there like, why? Leave me alone. I'm an introvert. I am a loner? Why are these people here? Me. After seeing him leave, Cyan frowned hard and stared at me. Or rather, glared at me. He must be angry because of the commotion. Yes? As I stood stiff and braced for what was to come, Cyan got up from his chair and walked toward me. He stopped in front of me and slowly began to speak.
Are you interested in any of them?
He's like, they all seem to be into you, but I was going to take possession. And like, wait, are you into that? Are you like finally figuring out what love might be? We're teaching the robot to love. Oh. Huh? For a moment, I couldn't understand what he was asking. Interested? Wait, did he mean... Is he asking me whether I have romantic feelings for them? Yeah, everybody, basically. Uh-huh. But also you, like, man harem. You know how this works. I didn't expect him to ask such a thing after the current flow of events. As I blinked my eyes in surprise, Cyan looked closer at my face.
So, what's your reply?
Well, I'm not sure how to respond, but I've never seen Adolphe or the others in that way before.
So none of them interest you?
I don't believe they do.
I see.
Ew. God, I love every fucking sprite this motherfucker throws at me. But, like, this one right now is, like, almost, like, slightly... It's just a normal pouty face, but it's slightly coy. I don't know. I like to read into the facial expressions that are basically like, okay, 5 minutes ago when we got the same one, I was like, oh, it's kind of like he's mad at us. And now it's, like, coy. And, like, Am I the only one that does that when you play the game? You're like, it's the same sprite we've seen 30 times, but each time I feel like there's a different emotion behind it. Even though it's the same damn sprite, you know what I mean? But, like, I feel like it's an intrigue. I feel like right now I'm seeing almost a slight... His mouth is totally straight, but I feel like there's a slight smile. They're like, like, interesting. You're not interested in them. Like, somewhere in the back of his little robot mind, you know, he's like... like Ryan responded nonchalantly, but I noticed that the tension of his grimace seemed to relax somewhat. Yeah, because he's like... Are you getting a little jealous?
And then let me ask another question.
Yes? What is it?
Why did you decide to stay with me?
Well, I love you. You're gorgeous. I want you to take me now. All?
You have nothing to gain in this particular situation by staying here. And don't you think you're putting yourself in harm's way?
I told him I was worried about him, but that might not be the answer he was looking for. But it's the truth. What could I gain from protecting Cyan? It sounded as if he was asking me to show me the greed that other humans felt. Show me? It felt as if he was asking me to show him maybe the greed that other humans felt. I'm not sure exactly what was. That doesn't sound right, but anyway. I look up to you, your mother's friend. I'm gonna say I look up to you because your mother's friend is obviously wrong. I'm sorry. Your mother's friend. She hates him, so she would absolutely want him to die in a fire. So, like, I don't think that's a good answer. He'd be like, bullshit, that's gonna get us stabbed. Actually might get us stabbed because now we have to do another save file, so. So I'm going to say mother gets a oh, wait. This is save file 3. So unless there's more, this could be the... Because isn't the last save file usually the one that also gets the salvation ending? After him, I think... Okay, so this could be the same... I don't know. Yeah, okay, I look up to you is right. Because, like, didn't Lucas have, like, 5 or some shit? Anyway, I actually look up to you, Cyan.
Look up to me.
Yeah, because you're tall. Just kidding. Yes, after all, you always keep to your convictions. You're the opposite of me, so I think I envy you for being so strong. Here's the thing, we haven't gotten really romantic. Are you gonna, like, kiss me before we die? Like, or I die or you die or something bad happens? Because, like, Mathis, we got the romancy stuff before he became Camille 2.0. And, like, Lucas, well, forced me down onto the bed. Well, chained me up and then kissed me, so, like... Okay. Before I died saving him. You know. And then I'm gonna need you to kiss me, because if I don't get a kiss here somewhere in this route, I'm gonna be mad. I was like, why game's not gonna get me my kisses from my boyfriends? Anyway. Maybe I'm hoping to become someone like you through helping you with your work. Then again, that would mean that I'm trying to use you for my own gain. That said, I guess the main reason is that you ordered me to work for you, and it's an honor to be your maid, so I don't want to leave you alone. And now that's the same look that he literally just gave us before, that I was like, look, there's an acquaintance, and this is like the blank stare, like, what the, like, slightly confused. I don't fucking comprehend. What? Like, why am I like this? I don't know. I couldn't explain exactly what led me to think in such a way. The only thing I knew was... Ah, yeah, you keep going to that puzzle one. My daily life with this scary-looking person who saw me for who I was. Scary? God, he's sexy. You can't say he's scary. I wanted that life back. He's a scary person, but he's not scary-looking. He's gorgeous. I calmly explained my reasoning so that I could understand myself, too.
Now you're acting like some kind of saint.
Huh?
At first it was about helping the country, and now you're saying you can't leave me alone, as if I'm a pitiful soul. You have a lot of roles to fill as death, damsel of tragedy, and now a saint.
That's not my intention. I simply want to be of help, Cyan.
Just so you know, I'm not the pitiful soul you think I am. I'm used to being alone and never once considered it a sorry state, so my current situation doesn't bother me. Well, being barred from the labs is an inconvenience.
Cyan took a step forward, then another. He slowly pushed me to a dark corner of the room until I felt the cold wall behind me. Please, God, give me a CG. You just pushed me up against a wall. I almost fainted, just thinking he slowly pushed me. I'm imagining the slow push against the wall instead of slamming me against a wall, and God damn, it was 10 times hotter. Oh, good God, I'm gonna die. Where's the CG of this?
So don't feel sorry for me by comparing my circumstances with yours. Keep it simple.
Please, CG. Oh, God. Oh, God. Yeah, there it is. I am pinned to the wall. Ah! You know how much I love this. stop it. I'm gonna cry with joy.
Say that you want to be with me. Just tell me you have feelings for me. Say it, and then kiss him.
My cheeks went red as he whispered in my ear.
I have no interest in what they may be, but what meaning is there in hiding them from me? I hate being forced into emotions, but I don't forbid it in others. I will tolerate them so long as they don't inconvenience me.
I think this is like the most interesting conversation. I have no interest in your feelings, but like, why bother hiding them? Just tell me. As long as they don't inconvenience me, I want you to tell me your feelings for me. Don't hide them. Like, that is so like... I know he's a robot, so he literally means these words, but this is so something that someone pompous and like self-absorbed would be like, I mean, I don't really care if you have feelings for me, but you might as well tell me because like, whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they want you to have feelings for them because it pimps up their ego and like, oh my god.
Especially if these emotions are coming from my personal maid.
Cyan, his words made me think, dear God, I know you're a robot and you have no interest in love really, but please goddamn kiss me. Why was I trying to stay by his side despite everything happening around him? It felt as though I had an idea of why now.
I don't expect anything in return. I've absolutely no feelings to give back to you. It's useless.
Do you think I feel like I'm not gonna get kissed and it's gonna rip my heart out. But like maybe in the Salvation ending we have a shot? Maybe? Because it would be tragic not to get kissed by this motherfucker, but you know, it's a tragic end, so. Just when I started feeling a heat inside me, his words ended up causing my heart pain. This was the best proof that the emotions I felt for him were exactly what I thought. So, I actually like Cyan? As a man? I mean, have you seen how hot he is? I couldn't deny it anymore. No matter how horrible a person Cyan was, I couldn't keep away from him, nor did I want to. He didn't evaluate me from a bird's eye view. He looked straight at me and saw exactly who I was. I loved the beauty of his view, which was reflected in my own eyes. But even if this was how I felt toward him, no use. I didn't have the right to feel that way, and Cyan had no intention of feeling anything. Still, it seemed like Cyan was waiting for me to say something. I'm gonna purposely not say anything, so you keep me pinned to this wall longer, because, like, I'm into it. Oh, I wasn't sure what he wanted me to say. Needing to say something, I slowly opened my mouth as my heartbeat echoed. I know he's not gonna... Can we just force kiss him? Is he just gonna kiss us for no reason? No! But before I could say anything, I heard footsteps approaching. Damn it! Damn it! Damn it, I hate it when people kiss block me! I'm sure we weren't gonna get kissed, but sound could be heard through the wall. Cyan clicked his tongue and turned around.
Now, hold on there. What the heck are you doing? You can't go in without...
I could hear Eve doing his best as a guard, but a few seconds later... Cyan Brovies, you've been summoned by the royal family to explain what you've done with the most recent reliver process. Countless royal guard soldiers barged into the room. Damn it. Damn it! Could have almost had a moment. I could have pretended. Now I'll never know. Even if we had guards, it would be no use with all the soldiers in this small room. We ended up being dragged out of the room by the royal guard. We were at least not bound like criminals, due in part to Eve and Hugo, who tried to keep the soldiers at bay. I hear there's so many of them here anyway. There was something ominous about the situation. Yeah, I don't feel good about this. Are we still in chapter 3? Hold on. I'm gonna go to our last save. Wait, I'm not actually gonna save. No, we're still in chapter 3. We're still in chapter 3, and I think there's at least 4 to 5 for each character, so I think we have another one. So, okay, I don't think we're at the, like, Cyan's gonna die right now. Or, okay. I'm not getting dragged into this mess right now.
Don't worry. I'll make a run for it.
I fucking love those two. Hearing them whisper to each other, Cyan was looking at his fingers with boredom. We followed the soldiers into the joint laboratory to find... A man was on the laboratory table, suffering in pain. It looked like he was struggling to breathe. Each time he tried to take a breath, I could hear the air passing through his throat. This is one of the people that was being experimented on, and like, okay. And Simon probably has something to do with, you know, pinning Cyan, whatever, because Cyan won't let Simon be a reliver anymore. You know what I mean? Anyway. You know what I'm saying. Wait, it's the same man who broke the incubator. Ah. Something wasn't right. He looked relatively healthy back then. Okay, so this is Simon then. Okay. Because that's what I was wondering when they did that. I was like, he's going to become one of those people that ends up dying. Like, whatever, right? And I was thinking that in the back of my mind. But now they're like, see, what did you do? And he's like, I didn't do anything because he was banned from being a reliver and you can fucking check the data. But he went to the secret lab, which I in my mind right now, it's something that Capucine's doing just because, but has inside people. You know what I mean? Like, and like, yeah. Anyway, because Boro constantly covering up the suicide. It seems like they'd be covering that up for Capucine. You know what I mean? Like, it's just convenient if it's not tied together. But maybe they wanted it to seem convenient so that, you know, you wouldn't know what was really going on. But anyway. But now he was in so much pain that he looked like he was about to die.
Why is he here? I've blocked his access to reliver technology, so he has no business at this facility. You should take him to a hospital if he's about to die.
Damn you! You're the one who brought this upon His Majesty! That's not what we want to hear! His Majesty became a reliver just a few days ago! So why is he suffering like this? Huh? Became a reliver? I gasped in surprise, seeing that the man no longer had the bruise Cyan left on his cheek.
What do you mean? I never gave permission for him to become a reliver. Did someone unblock his data?
Stop playing with us! You told His Majesty you'd revive him if he complied with your experiments. But ever since His Majesty obtained his new body, his lungs have started to fail. He's been suffering all the symptoms of the curse of death. At this rate, his life is in danger. Revive His Majesty again this instant!
Cyan didn't say a word in response to the soldier's demand. He took a step forward and checked the man's chest and throat to assess his breathing. His cold, inorganic gaze was fixed on the man's chest. Cyan observed the man for a few seconds, then raised his head. Tch! Some idiot used the data without permission.
What are you talking about?
It's exactly as I said. Someone in the Institute stole my prototype data and used it to turn him into a reliver. Not only was it a prototype, but it also had known side effects.
Side effects? Before I could ask him what they were... The man's suffering was getting worse. Your Highness, just hold on! Can't you turn him into a reliver?
It's impossible. He broke our equipment, so now our schedule's backed up. There are no open incubators.
But...
His only choice is to die.
The man twisted and turned with agony. After spewing out blood, he stopped moving completely. His bloodshot eyes were wide open and unblinking. At this very moment... Okay, Hugo's shocked face, right, normal, but, like, Eve's, like, look at his face right now. It's so beautifully angry. There is, like, just a... Because there's something in it that's not, it's, like, angry but suspicious, but also, like, I will fucking stab, like, dark. It's dark and angry. I love it. Oh, what are you hiding? You just seem like such a soft little fluffy cupcake, but, like, that look now, that, like, dark, sinister look, like, angry look is so hot right now. Like, what the hell? I mean, I love him for basically being a labradoodle, don't get me wrong. But, like, now I'm thinking, like, he got a little bite in there, and I like it. At least he can look angry, and that angry look is sexy. I love him to death for being a labradoodle, don't get me wrong. We need a cute little labradoodle. I mean, Mathis was kind of like a little labradoodle, but he was more like a kicked one. Like, he was just, like, the little puppy that's cowering in the corner, and you're like, it's okay, buddy, come on, it's okay, buddy. Like the scared little puppy, and like Eve is literally the hyperactive, like, one, bouncing all over the place. A member of the royal Revopois family had passed away. Your Highness! So that was... Soldiers started to move at once. Some tried to revive him, and others turned on their transmitters. And some began devising a plan in all the commotion.
Oh, shoot. At this rate, they're gonna pin the blame on Cyan. We better get out of here while we still can.
Yeah, no way around it. Peace. Citizens of Arbachel, hear me! At this very moment, the most pious and beloved of the royal family has passed away. I don't know how that you're supposed to pronounce that dude's first name. He was killed by the oldest reliver, Cyan Brophies. Whoa! Where's that coming from? And he wasn't... I love that they blame Cyan for it, despite the fact that he's like, you broke our equipment, we can't put you in, and I'm not at fault here. Well, obviously they hate him, so... The voice sounded like it was coming from the Institute's speakers, connected to a transmitter. A voice, sounding as if it belonged to another royal, began pinning blame on Cyan. Well, this has gone downhill fast. This gives me anxiety. I'm like, no, stop it! I can handle everything else, and Lucas is probably like, no, stop. Oh my god. Like, I don't know, it didn't give me the anxiety that this is giving me. But I mean, like, I knew Lucas was a freaking murderer. I'm like, okay, I saw that coming. Like, whatever. And like, the terrible things that Capucine did to him, you're like, what the fuck? And like, to Nadia and everything, but it didn't, like, now I'm like, oh my god, no, stop it! What are you gonna do? Oh my god, no! Like, you can't knock Cyan off his pedestal! Stop it! Like, maybe because I love him more, so like, it hurts me more. It makes me more anxious for him. Like, don't get me wrong, Lucas is gorgeous, you know what I mean? Like, and I do love Lucas, but I was like, no, he's a murderer, though. Like, alright, I expected that, and like, I still felt bad for him, but I didn't have the anxiety. It was more like no, he doesn't deserve this. And now I'm like, stop, don't hurt my baby! He kind of does deserve it, that's the sad part, but like, shit. The announcement's playing all throughout the country. What?
I see. So however that is, he's using the speakers outside to transmit the message to the public.
We citizens have been used as test subjects by the sinner, Cyan Brophies, who's purposely included a defect in all clones. No, not only the clones. He's also using non-relivers as his own test subjects. Well, that's true, but also... Ooh, put their stamp on that. According to classified papers we obtained from the Institute, the Brophies family has been conducting experiments on humans. The Brophies family is the real death that has spread the curse of death across the land. I don't feel like this is gonna go well. They've ruled this country with deceit, claiming to lift the curse they're perpetuating. Wow, I can't read. In fact, inhuman experiments are being performed in secrecy. Pray for the souls who have died agonizing deaths at the Institute. We're doing it on criminals, most of which are relivers, but... We're unable to live until old age and must resort to becoming emotionless, defective, unnatural entities. I mean, that's not untrue. All because of the Brophies family. Would be interesting if that was true, though, if you find... You're like, well, how dare you? And then later you're like, actually... That'd be amazing. The royal speech continued as we tried to get a grasp on what was going on. Content was so baseless and unreasonable that we could only listen in stunned silence. To be fair, like, this is, I mean, I feel like because that last choice was probably the split off, was where we'd make that choice and then we'd get our salvation ending. It's probably the last choice in the game. So we're probably obviously, and we're always going to be heading into our bad ending. But I feel like all the stuff in the routes up till that last choice you make, that last save file, because from what I've seen from the other ones, the last choice you make is always the same when you load your salvation end. So like everything up to that is all going to be the same. It's that point where now we're in the bad end, where when we get our salvation ends, when those unlock, this would all be different, right? So, obviously, we're heading into the bad end now. So, I just feel like, yeah, no, Cyan's gonna be, like, knocked off his pedestal, all that stuff, and it's like, you know what I mean? Because, like, that would be the tragic end for him, you know what I mean? So. Oh gosh. If this is being heard by the citizens of the country, even a child could easily predict the chaos to follow. Cyan, we need to escape, now! Oh no. Before I could tug on his sleeve, Dalit and some researchers appeared. Of course. I'm sure Dalit will be able to prove that Cyan is innocent. I think this is where Dalit, like, flips the switch and is like, there's nothing he can do. Cyan Brofeast, you're hereby exiled from the Institute indefinitely. The king has sent us his decree. You've been sentenced to death for killing a member of the royal family. Huh? Like, we were all witness the man died naturally. Well, not really. Cyan's expression didn't change, even after hearing his death sentence. The royal guard slowly closed in upon hearing the sentence from Dalit. Oh, I love that Eve and Hugo are gonna defend our boyfriend. Gotta defend Daphne. Eve and Hugo drew their swords, but they were outnumbered in a confined space. Seeing them protecting me and Cyan, a shadow fell upon Dalit's face. I'm sorry, Cyan. Even I can't go against the royal family's decree. And I can move forward with my research on memory retention. This is an unmissable opportunity. Oh, I think this hurts the most. Oh, it's such a cute little bromance, and now he's like, listen, the king sentenced you to death, there's nothing I can do, and like, it's an opportunity for me. Don't stop it! I can't blame him, and he's not wrong, but like, oh, the truth hurts sometimes, guys. So I need to drag you down from the top for my own sake. Oh, my soul is broken. The only thing I could have relied on was your little friendly bromance, and now it's dead. Look, even in Lucas's route, when Lucas was killing Cyan, you escaped, and you were like, ah, shit, I have to get out so I don't die. But, like, which I guess was a little selfish, but at the same time, there was nothing you could do for Cyan. But, like, now you're, like, gonna drag... Aww! It's like you just stabbed him yourself! Again, I can't blame him, so I'm not mad at Dahood, but it still hurts. Truth hurts, man. We don't need relivers just to extend our lives anymore. I'll work to create actual humans from now on.
I see. But that doesn't mean you can kill me.
Huh? A large blade hovered in front of my eyes. It was one of the swords that Cyan kicked out of the hand of one of the soldiers. Dahood and the rest looked on in shock, not understanding what happened in that moment. Hugo! Yeah, got it. The sword fell to the floor with a clang that signaled our chance to escape. Even Hugo used the blunt ends of their swords to knock the soldiers out cold.
Let's go, maid.
Okay. I love this daring escape. And I do love the fact that Cyan's not going to be hurt by Dahood, kind of almost... Dahood really didn't backstab him here, but you know what I mean? He's like, well, the royal family's going to put you to death, and I can't do anything about that, so I'm going to look on the bright side. And to be fair, Cyan would have done the exact same thing. So, like, you know, Cyan's like, I'm not mad about it, because I'd have done the same thing. So, like, props to Dahood for staying true to himself. Like, so, like, it hurts, but I'm not mad about it, because you know what I mean? Like, we quickly ran through the opening. Plus, I like that little bit of Dahood that, like, he's always been such a great character that there's this little bit of selfishness here where he's like, he could have been like, no, I'll try to do something. Don't worry. Like, you know, I'll talk to him because I know it wasn't you. And, like, which would have been, like, keeping into his, like, 100% wholesome. But, like, they basically pulled that little bit out and was like, no, we're gonna make him a little, like, hey, there's nothing I can do, and this is better for me. You know what I mean? Where he's a little bit selfish now? And, like, I like that. That makes him a little more actually human. A little more real of a character, you know? As opposed to the little wholesome being that's always going to do everything for everyone and like the way he's always been. This little bit of like selfishness in there. Oh no. Just, I think it makes him a little better. I like it. Anyway, we quickly ran through the opening. It would be easy if we could simply keep running to the exit, but seeing that we were making a run for it, some of the soldiers began to make chase. I mean, assuming they would.
Damn it.
Cyan took out a few small orbs from inside his coat and tossed them behind us. I like the fact that he's always got escape bombs. They're probably like bombs or smoke bombs or something, but he's always got them in his pocket, just in case. Suddenly, yeah! The soldiers were blown back after a large explosion. White smoke began to rise, hiding us from their view. Were those explosives?
I had them prepared just in case, but I never expected them to be so handy.
I love the fact that he's just prepared. Hey, are you sure about that? A flashy explosion like that could knock out your equipment and the staff too.
I tossed them toward the front of the laboratory, so unless luck isn't on our side, everything should be fine. Now let's hurry.
Plus he's like, also, if worse comes to worse, I'm never getting back in here, so fuck that tech. Fuck everyone here. You know what I mean? Okay. To be fair, if I were Cyan and I had done all this and somebody was going to put me to death and I was trying to escape and they were like, well, but all the equipment, I'd be like, fuck that. Let it rot. I'll blow this whole fucking place. I push a button. Once we get out, I push a button and blow up the whole fucking place. And I'd be like, now everyone's dead. So good luck with that. Oh, all I have to do is flip open my thing and push a couple of buttons and there's like tech, and then I just deleted everything. You know what I mean? Like, fuck you. I'm gonna take this whole shit down with me. You know what I mean? This is not like I voluntarily left my job or you got laid off. This is, they're blaming you for shit, gonna sentence you to death, pinning all this shit on you, and you're just gonna be like, okay, nah, take it all down. Everybody dies now, motherfuckers. Like, you're God, so I'm pretty sure God would smite everyone for daring to oppose him. I mean, I'm just saying. But Cyan's obviously like, no, we're gonna take everyone down and I'm gonna get back in, so it'll be fine. I'd be like, no, I'm taking this fucking place out. Like, with Cyan's motion, we quickly escaped from the chaos of the laboratory. I guess we're going to the orphanage. We can't go to the orphanage. That's the first place to look for me. A number of soldiers did attack us along the way, but even Hugo mowed them down easily. We finally reached the back entrance. Just as we thought we made it, in the confusion and clamor of the facility, we could hear strangely clear footsteps. Coming into view was... Oh, hey, Lucas! What? A person we thought was dead. Boro appeared in front of us like a ghost. Why the hell is he here? I thought he already died!
I don't know, but we probably can't avoid fighting him. And there's no telling when we'll get caught from behind. We can't avoid him. Maid, step back so you don't get hurt.
Okay. You know what's going to be interesting? Because this is Lucas, right? But he's crazed right now. Is he, though? We don't know that when he's going to kill people, he's always being... Well, he is being drugged by Capucine to keep, you know, whatever. The brainwashing. But we don't know that every time he's going out and slaughtering, he's brainwashed. We kind of saw that in that instance where Mathis and I saw him, and then he came running in his thing, and he's like, oh, and then fake Boro was there. It was a clone, obviously. That he was just like, you know, he seemed pretty much aware of what was happening, so he wasn't crazed at that moment. So this, you gotta think he's there like, oh, okay, cool, I get to kill Cyan. Woohoo! Right? Because he hates Cyan and he hates relivers. And then he's here and he's gonna see us. He wouldn't hurt us. And then I feel like if we had a moment with Cyan that was like almost romantic, like, no! Stop, I do love it! And then Lucas is gonna be like, wait, what? You're in love with him? And it's gonna make him hesitate. Because you should already know. I mean, I guess if you played it in the order, you would know. But if you didn't know yet and you hadn't played Lucas's route, that would be another little, like, weird hint. You know? How he reacts to you being here with Cyan and trying to protect Cyan. Anyway. Immediately, Before I could even see them preparing for battle, Boro leapt into attack.
Well, that was close.
Eve barely stopped the strike from above. Eve, do not kill Hugo again. But Boro was so powerful that Eve could only slide his weapon away. Using the opportunity, Cyan leapt high into the air and dropped his heels, but he missed the mark. Because he's not going to kill Eve because Eve's a human. He will kill Hugo, we've seen that. And he's not going to kill Cyan right now because we still have another chapter, I feel like. So Cyan's not going to die here. Hugo joined the fray, but even the three of them were unable to get past Boro's spinning halberd. Damn it, he's way too strong!
I suppose I need to use these again.
Cyan took out the orbs he had so that only we could see them.
You think they'll work? At least it can give us cover. Now shut up and move back!
Ooh, he looks so angry there. With Cyan's voice, the two quickly moved back, and then the explosives flew. The entire hallway was filled with smoke. The attack must have been unexpected, as Boro's frail body was taken off balance. Three of them moved in using the opportunity, but Boro, covered in dust and soot, quickly raised his halberd before they could charge in, and swung it straight into the floor in front. Huh? Floor seemed to shriek in pain, perhaps aided by the impact of the explosion. No! Before I could scream, the floor crumbled. A huge gaping hole appeared in its place and sucked in the debris to its depths.
Well, that was close.
Even Hugo were able to leap back out of the hole's reach. Cyan tried to do the same, but Boro wouldn't let that happen. As he fell, he quickly grabbed onto Cyan's ankle to drag him down. Cyan's body leaned toward the hole. Oh, we're gonna grab him. Cyan, grab my hand! He looked at me as I reached out toward him, and no! He refused to take hold of my hand. It would have been interesting if we grabbed onto him, like, no, I can't lose you! And then, Lucas was like, Boro lets go of him because, did we just leave him? He fell into the darkness with Boro. Oh, dear God. He's not gonna die right now because it's not the end and we have to see him die, right? But, fuck. Fuck! I can't go too far over, so, well, we got a few minutes. Let's see. Cyan! Cyan! I looked down into the hole, but it was so dark that I couldn't see a thing.
Well, this is bad. It looks like Boro was after Cyan, too.
We need to go and save him! I hear ya. Seems like they fell down pretty deep. And not like we have time to find a way down.
Guess we need to go down from here. Hey, Hugo, you have some rope on you, right? Let's use that.
Yeah, got it. I want to go too. I mean, Cyan might be injured down there. And you're going to need someone to watch over Cyan if you two end up fighting Boro. Oh, that's Hugo. Well, you have a point. I understood well enough that I might actually be a burden. Even so, actually, I don't think in this case you will be, because if you throw yourself over Cyan, Boro's not going to kill you. One, because you're a human, so he doesn't kill humans, and two, because he's in love with you, and always has been, so he's probably not going to hurt you just to get to your boyfriend. Spacey got some thinkins.
Just say you want to be with me. And just tell me you have feelings for me.
I couldn't leave Cyan behind and run to safety without telling him my answer, which we're going to tell him right in front of Boro. See? Say what I'm saying? Come on! So good! Okay, that's perfect. So, we're going to stop here. And then, now we're Cyan. Ooh, okay. This is going to be fun next time. But anyway. Yeah. I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.